Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of Framing the Force here on the Aspect Network. I'm one of your hosts, Robby Weidemann, and joining me every week to discuss a galaxy far, far away is Alex Batts. Alex, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I am super pumped for this week's episode. It was my turn last week, and now we get to turn the spotlight on you. So I'm very excited. So this week, after discussing my account last week, we're going to be diving into Robby's account, Star Wars Shot by Shot. I'm going to be picking his brain on why he started his account, his workflow, and more. So let's kick off the show by discussing how this account started. Robby, what got you into content creation in the first place? And specifically, how did you decide to make this Star Wars account?
So, with the whole content creation thing, I I don't know. It kind of just came to me in the sense that I'm an editor for
Mm-hmm.
my job. That's my career. So I kind of just edit for funsies already.
Yeah.
Um, and I just wanted a way to just improve on the side, doing something fun. So I would post like I liked I originally started posting for the Toronto Raptors, like stuff like that, because
Nice.
I worked for the Nets for a while, for like a year
That's
or
cool.
whatever. But I have a big interest in basketball, and so I would,
New
and I'm a
season
huge
started.
Raptors. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness,
so hype.
it's great. We love to see it. Really small tangent, but yeah, I'm a huge basketball fan, huge Raptors fan, and I would post highlights to them for the playoffs
Mhm.
to Star Wars trailers audios.
Oh, okay.
So I would do that, and I had like I had my first one was to the Force Awakens. It was like 2016. I did it. That
Hmm.
one like got like 50,000 views or whatever, which is huge.
Hmm.
It still is a big number, but like that's one of the biggest videos I've ever done, and that was like,
Yeah.
oh wow, this is fun. I can do this for fun, and people will appreciate it or whatever. They'll watch it. I'm like,
Hmm.
great, cool. I'll just do it. So I did that every year with that, and when they let me slow down. Um, when they won the championship in
Yeah.
2019, I posted another one. That wasn't actually a trailer. It was just like from scratch. Like at this point, I'd been able to. I can tell a story myself with the sound bites and whatnot. So I was doing my own thing, and that was just like to a song. And I got like 75,000 on Twitter. The first one was YouTube. This one was 75,000 on Twitter. I was like, oh, cool. Maybe I'll do something more on Twitter. And I was like, but I want to do it for Star Wars because I enjoyed. I like. I haven't been able to talk about Star Wars my entire life because when I was a kid growing up, you bullied for it.
Yeah. Right.
So, and people would finally come around. Is this is like post COVID or in middle of COVID, like 2020. I want to say I was when I first started. Yeah, 2020 probably. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think I may have my first one may have been an Ahsoka video if I'm not. No, that's maybe a full on lie. I don't know.
It blurs. It all blurs together.
Yeah, it all blurs. But I posted some. I really want to say it was an Ahsoka one, but I don't know. I posted something about Star Wars, some Star Wars cut, and I
Hmm.
just kept doing that, and I kind of built a following off of that and my Phantom Menace stuff, and I eventually started doing modern, like remaking trailers for the films and doing modern ones, and those were always a big hit. And I gained a nice chunk of my following just from my stupid Phantom Menace hot takes and mall tweets, and then but the other half and a majority of my initial growing was from making and posting videos. So I kind of became a content creator in that sense,
Yeah.
but I don't really consider myself one. I mean, well at that point I didn't, but now with Shot by Shot, I guess I can't really avoid it.
All right.
But yeah, I don't consider myself an influencer at all or anything. Social media is not really supposed to be, I don't look at it as a job. I just do it for fun, and if people happen to enjoy what I say or post, cool.
You don't
Like,
call it a job. Tell that to the amount of hours you spend putting into
yeah, I know
it.
it's a really extensive hobby that I'll definitely get into a little bit later. But
Yeah.
but yeah, and then I was like, all right, I have been a following, and I follow Breaking Frames, which is just it
Hmm.
did post every Breaking Bad frame.
Frame. Yeah.
Now it's doing Better Call Saul. I still follow them.
That's pretty cool. I didn't
Excellent
know that
account.
they
Yeah,
had transferred
they
over to
actually
that.
did El Camino first.
Oh, that's cool. I actually
Yeah,
still have not even seen El Camino.
it's a good film. It wasn't needed, but it does Jesse
I've
justice. Like it was
seen
just it's like fan service kind of like, but it was a very solid film.
yeah, I mean, I've seen both the main series, but not
You're not missing anything, but it's cool. I
I
liked
should
it.
watch it though.
Yeah, you're not wasting time watching it. I mean, it's definitely not a needed story.
Yeah,
Anyway, so I followed them.
right.
um, I was like, well, shit, I want to do this for the Star Wars movies. No
Yeah.
one's doing this. I was like, I want, and this is definitely at a time where I was very much heavily involved in Star Wars Twitter, heavily posting. And it's funny because Star Wars Shot by Shot just absolutely killed that. Like I just posted significantly less because of Shot by Shot and just just not having the time or whatever. But and just focusing all my attention on Shot by Shot. But anyway, I used to post like heavy, like whether like those classic 4 photo little formatted tweets with
Mhm.
try and make it insightful, something different. I don't want to do the same goddamn thing I see in my time. I'm not asking you what your favorite lightsaber color is.
Right, yeah.
And the only time I would
Star
do
Wars when it's red.
I would do Star Wars red ones, but I would post the most random, like completely different red images. And this was
Yeah.
before, like it was a meme at this point, but it wasn't like a frowned upon meme. Like you could still meme it at this point.
Mhm.
And I would do those, and people were like, oh shit, like it's different. Like I would try and make like something that wasn't like generic. I tried to put a little bit of thought into my little 2x2 tweets.
Mhm.
But so I ran into a problem a lot because I would try and post also different images as a result of trying to be some kind of my own self.
Mhm.
And I you can't Google half of these damn
Oh,
images. Like
dude, it's
I
terrible.
want specific images, and I'm like gotta settle for like maybe attempting to rip a screenshot off the Disney Plus, which is a
Mhm.
lot easier. I feel like nowadays than it was back when I was doing this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like there's easier loopholes now, but whatever. Um, but also I have to go in the film, load up Disney Plus, and then I hate having things sitting in my continue watching section unless it's
Ugh.
like a TV show.
Yeah,
So I
unless it's
got like
something
a
I'm
half watched
actually
movie that I gotta
continue
like
watching.
fast forward to the credits for, and just so I like that annoyed me. So I wasn't trying to do all that, and I was like, I'm gonna do it my damn self.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna do frames. I didn't realize breaking frames was 1 frame per second episodes of Breaking Bad. I did not realize that when I was doing the math
Mhm.
for uh frame by frame or what or it I didn't have a name at the time because I was still
Yeah.
figuring out what I was going to do. But fun fact, in my files everything is labeled the movie is like subtitle name, so like Phantom Menace, whatever,
Mhm.
shot blank blank blank, except for actually the Phantom Menace because the Phantom Menace was when I exported it, it was going to be in frame. So everything is the Phantom Menace frame one, but it's actually they're still shots, but they're all labeled as frames. So that's a fun
Interesting.
little yeah. So it was going to be frames,
So it's gonna be a
and
Star Wars frames first?
yeah, because I figured that'd be a hell of a lot easier than sorting through shots. Look what dumbass did the opposite. But so it was gonna be frames. And then I decided because I was doing it 30 frames or 24, whatever one. I think for film is what
It's 24.
24. Okay, I'm
Mhm.
yeah, some fucking editor I
24
am.
frames per
Anyway,
second
fake
normally.
fan. I
It's wild,
always
honestly,
I
that you can capture that you're
I
capturing
always
thousands of shots for each film, and you're like, "I
yeah.
don't know,
So
one of them."
whatever. What the hell? I don't care. I don't pay attention. No, if it doesn't revolve around the actual project I'm working on at work, I don't care what the
Right, right. I mean, that makes sense.
I don't let the number sit in my head because I have very little storage up there already. So, um, so yeah, I did it at 24 and did the math, and I was like, "Fuck, this is gonna take a couple of years to post."
Yeah.
like I can't like and I was gonna try and do a bot, but I am no coder.
Dude,
Yo, if anyone wants to code me a damn auto scheduler,
it's so I think we
here's your
talked about
chance.
this last week
Yeah,
where, like, I've looked into it a little bit and would love to have something like, to set up a bot to do that, but it's
yeah.
so much,
I
like
was like, I was like, it's gonna take years to post this. I cannot post this manually because it'll take decades. Like, so
yeah.
I'm sitting there like, I have to do shots, don't I? So we decided on shots.
Mhm.
and it's time consuming. um, but no, I mean that's pretty much the how we got to the shot by shot being about shots. And I sat there. I had plenty of downtime at work at this point because I was a COVID PA on a show.
Okay.
And but I wasn't an I started off as an onset one, but they wanted me to man the studio instead. So I had like two or three other coworkers, and we would just sit in the lobby basically, all like the lobby of the studio, making sure people had been standing. So I had a lot of damn downtime.
Yeah.
So I sat here and formulated with my coworker. I like came up with the name, like how I should, and I that's how when I did that's where I made the profile picture and the original banner and stuff. But I didn't do any
Mhm.
actual sorting there. Sorting was gonna because I was just on my old 2015 Mac, and that was not gonna handle sorting.
Yeah.
So all the sorting is done on my PC, but I just kind of started formulating the I guess the brand and the idea, and
Mhm.
I didn't like put the profile picture or banner or anything on, I think, until like I actually announced it, which it is the anniversary actually. It's a 3-year anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Believe it or not. Um October 24th is the first time it started posting. Um
That's wild.
yeah, Phantom Menace, but it was announced like October 15th or something. But I didn't like I had this I was starting to formulate this beginning of October, end of September of 2021 or whatever. And but I didn't like put anything on the profile or nothing until like I was ready to announce it. So like, just like keep it out of the way.
Yeah.
No one stumbles upon it like, what's this?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I I actually, fun fact, I don't follow shot by shot.
That's hilarious, actually.
um and it was because like part of the reason, like at this point I like I'm not going, it doesn't matter. I don't I see it every single shot because I go to the profile anyway to check and make sure, and I check the interactions and stuff.
Mhm.
So and I am in the tens of thousands, so I'm not going to see that one little number. It's like whatever, I don't care. It's not a big deal. Um,
Mhm.
but also, my fun fact: the reason what committed me to not following it was my coworker who was helping me formulate all of this. Christina, shouts to Christina, sniped the first follow from me.
Mm.
She followed it first. And I was like, I just can't show up
Eh,
on
you
the profile as
you
the
can't be the
second follow.
second one.
I
Yeah.
can't do it now. I just can't follow it.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't follow Shot by Shot, or one of the reasons. But I only, and I don't post on Shot by Shot, or well, I
Mhm.
don't post anything but shots.
But
It's
the
a neutral
shots.
account,
Mhm.
so I don't follow anyone with it because it's not what I use it for. I follow myself with it just so in case you don't read the bio, because some people just hop on an account and be like, "Oh, who's this person following?" And it's like there was only one person, so it must be someone, and it's just me. So in case like you don't read the bio, so you know who is running the account, and that way
Yeah.
like because I interact a lot on the comments and stuff, but I will not interact with shot by shot, but I'll interact as me. But I want people to realize that I am the guy running this, so I am going like the insight I am giving you, like why this shot was posted or this frame of this shot or whatever, or like
Mhm.
any like just if there's a technical difficulty or just a question, the person that like that me responding with that answer is the person who is you're looking for the answer from.
Yeah.
So that's why but I have myself like shot by shot has my personal account muted, like notifications
That way you don't get
off.
the that makes
Like,
sense.
actually, I can't. I've tried to mute notifications for myself multiple times, and I still get them, and it really pisses me off. Anyway,
Twitter,
but I don't
the
have any
man's broken.
notifications for anybody on it except me, who somehow found a loophole. I don't know. Like I have DMs like turned like it's just strictly there to post things. I don't care about like I'm not checking its notifications. I'll manually go through. I don't get notifications, so I have to manually search through each shot's comments, all the
Yeah.
quote tweets, but I enjoy doing it. Like it takes a
Mhm.
lot of time. But if you're going to show me the love and appreciation and come out and support my passion project, the least I can do is like
Interact.
at the bare minimum hit you with a retweet on a quote tweet or whatever. Like the comments I've definitely gotten worse as time has gone on because it's a lot sometimes. But I try and comment or like reply to a lot of the comments. Like I try and like have good conversations because you're taking time out of your day to show me some love. So why can't I do the same to you?
Yeah.
So but yeah, that's pretty much how Shot by Shot was birthed, and how I got into content creation. I mean, it's just kind of all stemmed from, and I started making the videos not even for views and stuff. It was, well, I guess you could say it was for views because my philosophy is you only need the right one person to watch your video.
Yeah.
So that's why
Oh,
I
I
was
mean, 100%.
I mean, I got practice out of it, and like, hey, if the right person finds this, maybe I have a job
Right.
somewhere,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's like I'm always constantly like, oh, I just need whoever to see this account, and that'll turn into something.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. All you need is one person's eyes, and um, which I like. That's why I started doing content creation with air quotes because I still don't really. I mean, I guess
yeah,
like I said, I kind of am now, but I don't look at it like that. But yeah, that's why I started posting, and a lot of shot by shots help. I it had a couple thousand after Phantom Menace, but when Attack of the Clones started posting, um Screen Rant wrote an article like 100
oh, that's
shots
cool.
into it or whatever. Didn't contact me for it or anything. Didn't
Of
mention
course.
me,
Yeah.
but whatever. Thanks, Screen Rant.
Hmm.
Um, like no big deal, but it was still cool they wrote it because it definitely
Brought a
like
lot of
my numbers
attention.
skyrocketed, and I don't know if he saw it on his own. I don't know if he saw the Screen Rant article. I don't know if one of his colleagues sent it over to him. Pablo Hidalgo
Mm,
started like
awesome.
following it. Like I have, I have a friend back home. My friend Rob. I sent this tweet to like my family, like and a couple friends, because it was like a really big like holy crap, what a stamp of approval.
Yeah.
And
Right.
my friend Rob printed it out, and now I have it framed sitting above my computer for inspiration. It's above the monitor that the shots are on. Like I use it as motivation, but
That's really cool.
I'm gonna read it real quick. It says, "Robbie, you've given the whole Star Wars community a gift with your account, and it's a great way for all of us to celebrate these movies that we love. It's my current favorite thing on Twitter." Like that is like the biggest
That's awesome. That's
like
really cool.
seal of approval, like nicest compliment I've gotten in regards to the account. And like this was started as a passion project. I wanted to do it for me. I wanted to do the Phantom Menace, no doubt, and see if people liked it. I would have kept going, which is people liked it, so I kept going.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I would have had all of the Phantom Menace shots to myself, which is fine for me because I was posting I was posting 4 photos, mostly Phantom Menace stuff, and I didn't have to go search for them on Google anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, once Screen Rant and Pablo endorsed it, Pablo would go back. He's no longer very active on Twitter, and rightfully so. I don't
Good for
blame
him.
him. um,
Yeah, dude. Honestly,
yeah, but
incredible. Wish
up
that were
until
me.
up until A New Hope, I want to say. So the
Hmm.
first 5 films I posted, he would go through
Oh yeah,
every
because you did solo
single
too.
shot, and he didn't quote every single shot, but he quoted a majority of them, and he would give his
Insight.
personal insight to it.
Yeah, I
Like
remember seeing a ton of those. Like
he would
whenever he
have,
would
and he
be
would
quoting
run
them,
like he had like the prequels were
threads.
all in their own thread, and then I don't know. I think he did something for Solo. Not sure. I don't remember, but he did stuff for Rogue One. Rogue One had a thread, but like he would just
That's so much
like
effort.
he would go and like he would stop. He wouldn't post for a few days, a week or whatever. He would go back like,
And go through and check.
and he'd asked me in the past, like, is there an easier way to search for it, like in a comment or whatever? And I unfortunately there's not,
Yeah, it's just
aside
the
from an
numbers.
advanced image search. And if you don't know what the shot's number is, you're
And yeah,
fetching in the dark at that point.
yeah, yeah. Like I
Even
was
I
going to
struggle. Like
grab.
if I'm trying to find a shot, I know it may be a general range, and I try and narrow it down. But like I can usually find them at the end of the day, but it'll take me a few minutes sometimes to find like it's not an easy feat. So there's unfortunately, and after you go back a few hundred, you can't load them.
Yeah.
So it really screws shot by shot in the archival process. But I am looking into finding a way to I know I can just upload it to Google Drive, which I'm probably most likely going to do and share a link, but I think I'm gonna
Hit
do
me
it
with
through
that link.
well, I think you can have it for sure, but I think I'm gonna do a Patreon kind of thing, and I don't
Oh, that'd
want to
be
pay.
cool.
I'm not gonna paywall it. I have to still work out the details. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
paywall it. There's gonna be a free tier access to the link, but I'm gonna do
You should
like
do
a tier or two
like
above that. Like if you want to donate something, like maybe I'll send you something. I don't know, something. It's
do
not
like
that.
a coffee or Ko-fi. Um, from what I've gathered, their benefits for creators are better than Patreon at this point
Okay.
because of the way
Either
the way
way, I want
and
to
that one
set up.
also like that would be free like out of the gate too, and then it
Mhm.
like it had like Kofi or coffee. I think it's pronounced coffee, but I'm not sure. But it's like
I
ko
go with
dash fi.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Um,
about. I agree with Kofi.
but like it has a built-in. Well, the only reason I think it might be coffee is because like their logo is a coffee cup, and it's like buy me a
That's how
cup
they
of
get you.
coffee like type thing, and so I'm like, oh. Um, because they also have it like has a built-in tip function essentially where like you can have it
Yeah,
there free and then like if people wanted to tip whatever.
like
um
exactly. Like I mean, I want you to like I want people to have this, and um, I want like that's why I encourage people to follow it because that's the easiest way to get them at the moment, the only way to get them at the moment.
yeah,
And please note, press and hold the images when you're on mobile and click load in 4K
or
before you save it.
or the dots in the top.
Oh, I didn't
If
know it was.
you
I always just do the press and hold, but
Yeah, so if you do the like dots in the top
uh-huh.
corner, the top right corner, you can do that, and that also brings up the menu with all the options. Then you hit load in 4K and
Great.
then
But yes,
save.
either way, make sure you load the image in 4K. And this also will go for Alex's stuff too, because Alex also posts in 4K on curated. So
I do, yeah.
please
When I can.
press, yeah, like make sure you hit load in 4K before saving an image. um, but yeah, so I don't even remember what I was talking about. We were talking about you went on a little
But
tangent.
yeah, that's how it came to be. No, that's awesome. I think it's really cool that I think both of us like started out like you just started doing this thing because it was a thing that you wanted
Yeah, it's
to
a passion
do like
project, yeah.
for yourself, and then it just ended up getting a lot of traction and being this huge thing. So that's awesome. We're going to be taking a quick break, but when we return we'll discuss Robby's workflow for acquiring all of these shots. We'll be right back.
Hey Aspect listener, I'm Kate.
And I'm Alex, enjoying this show here on the Aspect Network.
Then check out Bending the Narrative.
We're your one-stop shop for all things Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Each week, we break down an episode from the series and discuss our favorite moments, with a particular focus on the characters and narrative threads that tie the series together.
In addition to discussing the original series, we're also tackling things from The Legend of Korra to the novels and the comics as well.
Now join us as we travel into the world of Team Avatar and discuss one of the greatest animated series of all time on Bending the Narrative here on the Aspect Network.
Now, back to the show. Welcome back to Framing the Force. Before the break, we discussed how Robby began his Star Wars account shot by shot, and now we wanted to discuss his workflow and how he gets all of these crispy 4K shots. So, Robby, how do you do it? How does this go? And also, I
Oh,
know that at some point in there, you transitioned from not posting 4K to posting 4K shots. So, like, talk
yeah,
about that
so
too.
yeah, I'm there's more of a story to the workflow, I think, than actually starting the account.
Right? Yeah.
Um, so another inspiration for starting the account falls back to my friend Rob, who was the one that actually printed out and framed the tweet of Pablo.
Nice.
Um, he gave me uh digital files of all of the films
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted. I had asked for the Phantom Menace and I got a couple, and then over time over a couple weeks he gave me because he lived 5 minutes from my house, so I just drive swapped.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I had asked for them to make the modern trailers,
Okay.
and I then realized I was like, oh, another light bulb went off. I
Wait a
was like, wait
second.
a minute. So that was the original how I did it. I had just web rips of the films,
Mm-hmm.
uh, episode 1, 2, and all of 3 except for the Battle of the Heroes. So like the moment Padme dies, like Padme like getting choked and falling on the ground is the last shot in 1080 or
Okay.
unless you want to consider it lower than that. I think they were like a lower resolution, but it's the last quote unquote HD shot.
Right, because I do remember that you were like,
I
"Hey, do
went on a
y'all want the
I
Battle of the
put out a poll.
Heroes
Yeah, I put out a
in
poll.
4K?" And of course, everyone was like, "Yeah."
I
Like,
go, I am okay with stopping if you guys are okay with stopping, but I will
Mhm.
give you this scene in 4K. And because Okairo, the first Okairo, sent me
Mhm.
over.
Shout out, what a legend. Love him.
Yes, shout out my goat. Sent me over Revenge of the Sith in 4K, and he was like, "Have fun." I was like, "Shit, this is
Yeah.
gonna be nuts."
I love how everyone just has a guy. Like, I also am not the one who gets all of my footage for
I am now that guy, but for a while I was not that guy.
like, that's
But
hilarious.
so the first 2 and 3/4 films are in
Mhm.
1080, as well as midway through Solo, but I will discuss that as well.
What?
Um, yes, the middle,
Interesting.
the on it, the first like 800 shots of Solo are 4K, and the last, I don't know, there's like 2,600 shots in that film. So from when they crash the Falcon onto whatever that planet is,
The final planet
yeah, that
they're on.
final planet,
Uh-huh.
actually, I might be wrong. Kessel Run, I think, is in 4K. The Kessel
Mm.
Run is in 4K. Yeah, so from the Kessel Run on, so for
On.
anywhere from like the train fight to the
Mhm.
Kessel Run is not
1080.
4K. Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's another story behind that. I had I got the 4K Revenge of the Sith from Okairo, crisp, fine,
Mhm.
um, Rec 709 colors scheme, like colors,
Dude,
like
colors are such a I know you'll get into it, but it's a
I'll
royal
get
pain in the
into
ass.
colors. Don't you worry. So everything was fine. The colors were fine, and I had never run into this issue for the prequels because I did not have to deal with HDR for the first 3 films, and the
I
4K
hate
version of
HDR.
Revenge of the Sith was not in HDR, or it was
Mhm.
just converted in a way that there was just not HDR colors. I don't know. It was
Mhm.
fine. No color issues. So I'm like, great. So and at this point, I had also found my own way of getting stuff
Mhm.
online and
Right.
grabbing the 4Ks online.
Yeah.
So I rip them all, I do them, I grab them, and I didn't. I don't know. I was like, I want to post in standard. I don't want to post in HDR because HDR is not on everyone's screens.
No, it's so I
And it
love
looks
HDR for the
terrible.
crispness, but
Yeah, it
it's
looks
not uniform yet.
terrible on pretty much anything that isn't specifically going to auto tone those colors.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out a way to convert that. I did. Um, I did. Don't worry. But in the conversion, everything got so much darker.
Yeah.
Like it just loses so much of the exposure. And you couldn't see some shots. Like some of them I'm squinting, like you got to turn your brightness all the way up. Like
Mhm.
on the phone. On my monitor, it's fine. Like the brightness wise, it's fine.
Yeah.
But when you look at it on a phone, which is 90% of the people consuming this,
Mhm.
it looks dark as shit. So I stopped. I ran another poll. I go, I can give you 1080, the right colors, or I can keep doing 4K. And I actually don't even know if I ran a poll. I think I did. But I ran
You
it.
were just like, I'm just gonna do this.
I ran it early enough because okay, that's why it was the first 800. Because I ran the poll early enough into posting to give the next shots that I'd be cutting can switch over to 1080.
Oh,
So
okay.
I did run the poll, and they're like 1080, just go regular colors, make your life easier, and stop stressing over it. And which is really cool because everyone is really supportive, which I'm going to talk more about in terms of my breaks because I take some long breaks, way longer than I intend to sometimes. But everyone's always really cool about it, and I really like it. But I'll talk about that later. But so I took a little. I actually didn't take any break from posting. It just the colors just switched midway through posting, and
Okay.
I just started cutting that, and then the workflow changed over, and we figured some things out. But before I get into that workflow changeover, I do want to. So I kind of gave the basic quick run through, but I want to get a little bit more into detail about the OG workflow. I actually have posted a video on Twitter to
Oh, really?
doing a quick little tutorial. I don't know where it is. I'll maybe find it. I don't know. But basically, I would throw the films in VLC and export
Mm.
them every third or fourth frame, depending on the film, because I did
Mhm.
not want to go through every single frame.
Oh God, no.
I do now, but so I didn't want to do that, and I was doing that, exporting it, blah blah blah, and they would all be exported to a folder, and the folder is like 55,000 photos, pretty much at the end of the day. Once
Damn.
you export every third or fourth, it's like
Mhm.
55,000, give or take 10,000. Like it was a lot of photos, and I would sit there. I would open the image on my monitor, and I would use the arrow keys, go
Mhm.
through them until the next shot came up, and I would stop and I go back and I would make sure choose the right one. Once I chose that one, I would delete every other one.
Right.
And then, because these are exported as individual images,
Mhm.
they all get an increasing variable in the number naming scheme.
Yeah.
So none of the numbers are correct.
Oh no.
So I have to delete the images. And sometimes I would do it right away. Usually I would wait like 10 images or 10 shots or something, and then I would do a batch, like not a batch, I would go manually rename all of them, but I would take a break from sorting through the
And
shots,
then go and
deleting them,
rename.
and I would just do them all in one shot instead of doing one. It would just
Mhm.
disrupt the flow, save me a couple seconds. But
Yeah.
that's what I would basically do. I would go through, I'd pick one, I delete everything else around it that I didn't need. Sometimes I post up to 4 frames, so I would rename those ones, and I still do this A, B, and C. So
So
the
it'd be
first
like
one is,
one
so it would be shot
ABC.
one, and then shot 1A, then shot 1B, then shot 1C. Those are the 4
Okay.
images. Just
Okay.
because it's 1A is actually the second frame.
Interesting. I mean, that makes sense
Yeah, it's just the easiest way to keep them next to each other in a
because whenever
folder.
it starts to sorting
Yeah,
in the folder, it's gonna
without giving them a number or something. It's just the easiest way. And I will go to like D, E, F sometimes. Sometimes I will find like a frame that I really like, but I have
Mhm.
5 frames and I can't post one. But
Yeah.
I'll still grab D and I just won't post B if that's the
Mhm.
one is that the one that doesn't make it. And sometimes, rarely, very rarely, there's I think just one instance. I think there might be actually be 2, but there's one I can remember. I can't remember what the other one was. Revenge of the Sith's opening shot, or the fifth shot,
Oh.
because I number them all one, or this at least works for Georgia 6 films. It doesn't work for the Disney ones. There's a little different. But the Fox logo was always 1. Lucasfilm logo is always 2. A long time ago was always 3, and then the Star Wars crawl was always 4. So the first shot's
Mm.
always for Lucasfilms was number 5. So the 5th shot, or Revenge of the Sith, I posted 16 frames.
Yeah, because that's
That's a
dude.
chonker, dude.
Side
It is
tangent. It
beautiful.
pisses me off so much that I can't make a single GIF of that
It's
one.
too long for you.
Yeah, I have. I think it's either 2 or 3 separate GIFs to like do because like
Yeah,
you just straight up
and
can't.
I and I
It's
and
too
that's
long.
and what pissed me off about posting that shot is you can't schedule threads.
Oh yeah, I know. It's
So
you. The
I had
only
to
way that
live post the other
well
12 frames.
you can schedule. Oh no, you can't schedule threads. I was gonna say you can draft threads because you can draft up to 25 tweets in one
Right, yeah, you could
thread.
draft 25 in a thread, but you
Mhm.
can't schedule them
Yeah, then
to
yeah, like
post.
it'll all just get sent out at once you hit
Yeah.
the yeah.
So I had to
So
go
you
in
had
and
to sit there and
manually
live tweet that.
I think I was at work. I don't remember if I was at work or not, but regardless, no, I think I may have actually been home that morning, which was a blessing.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, whether I was or not, though, if I was at home, I was on my computer, and if I wasn't, it
Mhm.
was on my phone. But I think it was on my computer. I like to try and do it straight from the computer because that's how I know the crispiness will still be there. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, so that sometimes I have to live do that. But yeah, so I'll name them ABC, and that was pretty much the workflow for the first 3 films. Is VLC. Boom, for Solo. to do the 4K, VLC has a real hard time exporting still images in a batch like that in 4K. I don't know what it
Yeah,
is. It
it
can't
struggles.
process it. So when I choose to batch export, it'll skip through the movie. But because it it'll sit on one frame for a hot second and then jump forward a couple seconds in the film. But because it's doing that jump, it's actually reading that as the film. So I'm missing everything when I try and do 4K. So being the editor that I am, the only thing I could think of at the time was throw it into Premiere and batch export in Premiere, which is fine. It was pretty much similar to VLC. I just had to make a timeline and do a couple extra steps, whatever. But I was doing that, and I was like, I hate this. I hate this work. Like the workflow sucks. My old roommate, he was good with computers, and he wasn't gonna make a scheduling code for me, and that never happened. But I did get a sorting code because at the end of Solo, I wanted to go back to 4K, and but I had to fix I wanted to fix my workflow if I could. This wasn't like a priority. My priority was the colors, and I needed something that would make it Rec 709, but the true colors, like really crisp, retain the quality. And we were looking into programs, and I found one that's called Mad VR. It's just a video player, but it does auto tone mapping. And it'll take the HDR footage and it will tone map it to not only Rec 709, but it'll make it like it just, I don't know what it does exactly, but it makes the colors a little more colorful, crisper. It just like does a little bit more of its own like AI correction. So, but it gets it pretty much spot on. It just does whatever it does and makes it standard, the standard color range. And I'm like, great, cool, you do you.
Yeah.
And so, but that doesn't have like a batch export.
Okay.
So backtrack a couple months before this all, I had my old roommate, same guy, used to work in a micro center before we all moved in together. So we got some nice discounts. And I bought a Stream Deck, like an Elgato Stream Deck, just for funsies because it was real cheap with the discount, and I always wanted one. And I was an editor, and
I used to have
I can hotkey like Premiere to it, like
Stream Deck. I want a Stream Deck really bad.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what exactly I'm going to use this for. I can hotkey like Discord stuff, Premiere stuff, whatever. But I can hotkey stuff, and that's fun. Everyone's got one of these.
Right,
so I was like, let me get one. It's cheap, I won't find a better price. Now, fast forward to Mad VR, and which I don't know why it's called Mad VR. I don't know if there's anything to do with virtual reality actually at all with this program. Yeah. Anyway, but fast forward to that, we took the Stream Deck and implemented all of the shortcuts from Mad VR, or like whatever command was to save an image, put it on the Stream Deck. Whatever forward one frame was, Stream Deck. We've like hotkeyed forward five frames in case I want to scrub through them. I actually rarely use. I usually just go manually at this point. But every now and then, if I like, if I'm like rechecking, because I'll go over these shots multiple times. So I'm like, I'll just go. I know which one I want. I'll hit the 5 frames forward. Sometimes I have like a back 1 second button in case I want to like jump back quick. But I don't have a forward 1 second because I usually go manually
just hit play.
forward. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That was actually the reason why we said we'll just So
like, if you need to go forward a second, just hit play. Like, going back is the hard part.
Thank you for correcting me on that, because that was actually that was the reason we came to. I'm just dumb.
Just like I'd forgotten about you because you're like, that's just like
I guess we don't need it. Whatever. But yeah, so we've hotkeyed a bunch of those. And like hotkey, I can open the folder on the Stream Deck, but basically hotkeyed the hell out of this Stream Deck to work with Mad VR and its saving feature to grab the images in 4K
Okay.
with proper colors.
Colors. Yeah.
Now, Mad VR does drop exposure a little bit, not as bad as a normal 2020 to 709 conversion, but it still loses some exposure. So had to figure that out. But I didn't realize, or I didn't really like pay much mind to it or care for Rogue One and A New Hope with it until someone mentioned to me in a comment, and I don't remember who. I wish I did.
Shout out whoever that was.
But you can find them. It's the shot of the X-wings approaching the Death Star from Yavin, like the X-wing approaching shot.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said if you bring this up, what was it? 1.5 stops, or no, 3 stops. 3 stops. Whatever plus 1.5 exposure is. I think it's 3 stops. I'm so bad with my technical
I'm pretty
terms.
sure it's 3 stops.
Yeah, 3 stops. 3 stops plus 1.5. So if you bring up 3 stops, you will have the actual color, like the actual exposure.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, noted. Thank you. So batch command it all up, because when I export these frames, they also come with the letter boxes, so I got to crop them. So I just have so at this point I just have a batch command that crops and fixes the exposure that works like a charm. But I haven't tested on the prequels because I haven't done the prequels in 4K with this method. But it works like a charm on the originals, because I also went back and for my own archives recolored A New Hope, because I still had the raw footage for them. I actually deleted all the raw files for Rogue One, so I have to just recolor them, but because they're already cropped. So if I run that command, it's gonna make them small.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but so it works like a charm on the original trilogy. This is one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to get to The Force Awakens. It blows that shit out of the water, yo. I don't know what, but if you add if you add the 3 stops, the plus 1.5, man, let me tell you, if you want to see that Star Destroyer on Jakku, bro, you're gonna be looking into like a ring light straight on. Like the ring light that's in front of me, that is the white of the entire image. Like,
damn,
like it is bright.
I wonder. That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's real weird, and I've been trying to, and I still haven't done it. Like, but I have to find the color for what I'm going to use for at least The Force Awakens, and hopefully it just carries on with the rest of the.
It's not going to. I guarantee you, it's not.
I honestly, I hope it goes back to the plus 3 stops. I hope.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but so I had to figure that out. Right, that's like currently I'm still figuring that out. I've been playing around with like only like plus 0.3, plus 0.6, plus 1 is a little pushing it, because I'm also looking at and shouts to Todd Vaziri. He's one of the, compositor at ILM. He has actually been a massive help to me and supporter. He will always DM me with, oh, this color is like, this white isn't white enough, or this looks good. Like we'll bounce back and forth. I'll send him some versions of stuff, and sometimes he'll just point it out after a shot is posted or whatever, or just and give me input on the colors and stuff. He helped me settle on like the look for Empire, getting that 1.5 right and everything. Like I gave him a couple options, and he was like, "No, do this one." So shouts to Todd.
Yeah.
Like, has no business reaching out to me
he's
about,
awesome. All of
about
his
this, but he is
comments are also so insightful.
Oh yeah, he's there's no one like him. But anyway, shouts to Todd. But yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh my god!
Figuring out the colors.
Thank you. Yes, figuring out the colors for Force Awakens. Thank you. So I'm in the middle of doing this, and I like that's what made me remind it, because I'm gonna hopefully send a couple off to him, and he's always been good at getting back to me. So I'm gonna get his input, and I'm also gonna probably look out. It may have posted by now, but it may be posting in coming days. Look out for a poll because I
Mm.
am going to post those options I send over to Todd. Todd's word's not the final say, but I want to, like, he can give me some serious insight on it.
Yeah.
But look out for a poll because I'm letting people choose between my color options for
Interesting.
this next one. I'm posting I have a graphic ready to go, or not ready to go. I have to change the colors and whatnot,
Mhm.
but I have it laid out with just the same image repeating. So you can
Okay.
just look at, I have 5 different shots, different lighting times a day. So
Nice. That way you can see the full.
it's all within the first 15 minutes of the film
Which shots
probably.
are they?
But it's Poe and Santeca sitting
Mhm.
across from each other is one.
Right.
Poe's X-wing at night on Jakku.
Okay.
Um,
Dude, also, how much of a pain in the ass is that opening stormtrooper shot to figure out how
bro,
many
I get
shots
that
you
is the
want?
first sequence in shot by shot history I have guessed on.
Dude, it's so I don't even think I have a GIF from it, actually, now that I'm thinking
Oh
about
my
it. Because
god,
it's
it's
kind of like, I'm like, where do I even
abysmal.
cut here?
I think there's I got 21, 23 somewhere around. So half the first day is going to be that sequence.
That's so funny.
That 15, 20 seconds is going to be the
I mean, it's
first
such a
half.
killer visual,
It's
honestly.
awesome, but it
But like
sucks when I'm trying to do
but
it.
taking it out of the context of that scene is like, I'm like, what am I?
Oh
This is
yeah,
so difficult. Like,
but yeah, I'm gonna have people voting on. I gotta give you the last 2 shots. Hold on, let me think. It's one of Rey, I think, when she's yelling at Tico, the dude on
okay,
that traps BB-8.
yeah.
Finn walking down the hallway in a stormtrooper, like that shot where when the doors open and he's walking in to go rescue Poe.
Hmm.
From the holding center or
Yeah.
the chair. That shot. I think I'm missing one. Oh, Kylo's force freeze.
Oh, okay. Oh, dude. Also,
Because
one of the cool. Oh, such a cool
yeah,
movie.
it goes so hard. But another thing that which actually I was thinking of this shot when it came to my mind about the whole Todd thing is the whites with the lightsabers. You have to be
Mm,
very careful, especially Kylo's, because there's crackles in it,
yeah.
but you don't want it to get too exposed and just absolutely nuke the lightsaber. Like you just
Yeah.
won't look like a lightsaber. So
Mhm.
that's why it's one of the example images. And it's also why I'm playing very finely and more okay with a darker image this time around. I try and get the truest image you can get. And I did, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did that for Empire Return of the Jedi and 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
But because they had no exposure issues and Solo was a whole hot mess. But
Hey, it's good to know. That's the Solo trend, is that the production
yeah,
was a huge hot mess, and then
it's okay. It carried over to
the
shot by shot too.
yeah.
But yeah, that's so with Kylo, I'm okay with maybe a little darker than normal on the shots because I do not want to lose the detail in his crackles because the white will expand too much and take away too many of those crackles.
Yeah.
And just it makes your middle white line in the lightsaber is just a thick boy, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so pretty much that's how the whole workflow is. And then the last little part of it is on top of the stream deck with saving all of this, I still gotta rename it.
Mhm.
And that is the one code I got out of my roommate before he moved out.
That's amazing. So you do
So
have an actual code for
I
renaming it?
have a code for saving. It's not renaming them, it's saving them. So every
Okay.
time I save an image, every time I hit my save button, it will increase the variable by 1.
Oh, that's so nice.
It
That's
gets
so nice.
better. The 3 hotkeys for my A, B, and C give me the A, B, and C and do
Nice.
not increase the variable.
That's really cool.
So God bless that I have that. I'd rather have that than the scheduler any day of the damn week.
Yeah, because that's what, like, one of the things I was talking about last week is like the naming of files when you're
And
working with that many files is insane.
I'm just naturally one, like my whole life I've been I try to be very organized on my
Same.
computers and keep them organized and stuff. And just being an editor, I have to be like
Mhm.
that is so much of the job is just organization. They
Mhm.
have whole, like if you're an assistant editor or an associate editor, most of your job is just organization for the primary editor. So
Yeah.
like it's that like it's just natural to me at this point. So I cannot have them, and I can't post without knowing their damn numbers. I'm not going back and looking at the tweets. I'm not keeping track of that. I got too many things. I got to
Yeah.
post. I got to schedule 40 a night.
Mhm.
I try and keep schedule ahead of time. Really bad at it.
It
um,
happens.
it
It
happens. Sometimes
happens.
I can get 200 of them scheduled, which is a full week, and sometimes
So
I have
you do
zero.
how many a day is it that gets post?
I didn't even say that. So let me give yeah.
Yeah.
The traditional shot by shot schedule, because I say traditional because I will sometimes post on weekends
Mhm.
or increase the shot count per day, but the traditional one is 40 shots a day every 15 minutes, starting from 9:30 Eastern time, going till 7:15 Eastern time.
That's so,
9:30 in the morning to 7:15
why
p.m.
the 30 and why the 15? Is that just how the time worked out from doing
I
40?
I wanted well that the 30 and the 15 is the 40. But I
Okay.
wanted a window that was like people would be able, it was like a general middle of the day kind of
Yeah.
window.
I mean,
Like
yeah,
I
that's 8:30 a.m. for me. So like
yeah,
that's
and like West Coast, they they
whatever.
get to, but they get to wake up and they don't have to
A
sit there
bunch.
and wait. So like it kind of just works for everybody. God bless the people across the world, because
Yeah, that's just
that's what a lot of my shots sometimes will like. There'll be a spike overnight because I'm getting
because
all the people who had slept during it who are catching up. So I
yeah.
get big spikes at nighttime sometimes just from the people across the pond. And God bless them, you guys. I'm sorry the schedule doesn't work in your favor, but thank you for coming by anyway. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, sometimes I'll post on weekends. Sometimes I'll post 50 a day. It all comes down to is your boy prepared? And most of the time, the answer is absolutely not.
Yeah.
I will not start posting until I have at least 800 shots ready to go.
So that's a
The
month.
exactly
Okay.
that's the method to the madness. I have a month, um, and yeah, 800 is the bare minimum. I'm currently sitting at 520-ish for the Force Awakens, which is real low for the long of the break I've had. But I'll get into that next segment. I'm gonna talk about more about the time consuming and everything. But
Mhm.
it's yeah. So I'll wait till it's 800, and then uh 200 a week, more or less, usually 200 a
Mhm.
week. If I get ahead, if I'm comfortable and I have a lot more than a month's worth, like if I'm near, like if I know I'm going to be done soon,
Mhm.
sometimes I'll open up the floodgates.
And just
Sometimes I will keep them closed and be like, shit, let me get ahead real quick. Like I kept what did I do? A New Hope, I kept those gates closed because I had to go right into Empire because I was on a time crunch because A New Hope finished in February and I
and you
wanted
wanted to
I
get
Am Your
May the
Father
4th.
on May the 4th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an absolute crunch. And I did not start posting until that film was, or I did not start posting until I knew what day made, like, until I knew what shot I Am Your Father was, because then I had to do the math and find the day that, or
Mhm.
find May 4th and go backwards 40 a
Reverse
day or
engineer.
50 a day, or I had to go
Yeah.
backwards and see how many days it would take to get to that. It was a whole reverse process because I had to figure out,
Mhm.
all right, this is the shot number, how many days to get to this shot, how many do I need to post to, like,
A
it wasn't going to
day.
work at 40 a day. I had to do 50 a day
Yeah.
and weekends to get
Mhm.
that. So that's why, like, sometimes there'll be a difference. Sometimes I schedule a movie's posting based on a specific date. I've done it for Revenge of the Sith, Solo, and Empire. I think are the
Mhm.
only three I've done it for.
The
Because
Last Jedi will be around May, won't it?
at the rate I'm going, possibly.
I don't
um
even know what moment you would do for that though.
yeah, I try not to do May 4th, really. I just wanted to do I Am Your Father because I had the opportunity.
Yeah. I mean
But
that makes
with
sense.
like with Revenge of the Sith was the first one I intentionally scheduled because I wanted to post hello there on the day Kenobi dropped.
Right. I do remember that. Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Um, and then I did solo because I was sorting shots and getting ready to post around the end of March, beginning of April. I just had just how the numbers were falling out,
Hmm.
and being that I just wanted to schedule 420 on 420. That's as
Mm,
simple as it was.
yeah.
Just for the meme, I was like, okay, I'm gonna post around this time, and I need to go 2 weeks into or 3 weeks into April, and I had 2 weeks of posting into it. I can make a meme for some people because like I like to troll. Like I like to have goofy screenshots here and
Hmm.
there. Like I like to just have
I mean, you gotta
fun.
have fun. You gotta like
Like
the part of it. The whole thing is having fun. So
yeah,
like, yeah.
it's meant to be a fun community, safe space, like so I'm all for giving people memes, and I saw the opportunity at a 420 on 420. I was like, ah,
And you
screw it,
took
what the
it.
hell. And then so that was the only reason that's why solo got scheduled. And Empire was obviously I Am Your Father. So sometimes I'll go out of my way to schedule based on a certain shot. It's fun doing it that time, like that way. But also if I do it that way, I have to wait and delay posting most of the time because I'll be probably past the 800 number.
Mm, okay.
So it's a matter of do we get a fun date or do we get the shots to you as soon as possible? But
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes
I
sense.
mean, and sometimes I schedule shots like I've woken up on a weekend, like when I post on weekends,
Hmm.
and scheduled shots like for that day that morning.
Nice.
Like sometimes I have cut shots the day before they're supposed to post. The end of
I've been
Solo
there.
was all live cutting.
Yeah. So you'll do all the captures, renaming all of them, and then you have
Mhm.
to schedule them all manually.
Yeah, that's about all there is to the workflow. And people always ask me for help, but
It's
it's
just that.
just it's like it's my baby, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna speak. This is a good time to get to our next segment because I'm gonna speak more on like just how I look at these shots and how I like kind of do it
Hmm.
because it's just running the account is its own thing in itself. But
Yeah.
that's the workflow, man. It had 2 lives to it. We're still improving it as much as we
And
can because
evolving.
I'm just trying to make it as simple on myself and and keep the quality because why if I'm gonna go out of my way to do all this shit, why not give you guys 4K in the process? And
Exactly.
oh, before we get out of the workflow, the most important part, the new part, I rip the films myself now.
Yeah.
I bought a 4K or I bought a Blu-ray disc reader, like one of the ones you plug into your computer,
Hmm.
flashed it to read 4K, and now I rip the films myself. So that is how I get my films now.
Very
Anyone can
nice.
do it. And it also gives you an excuse to grow a physical media collection.
That
But
is really cool.
that is the last thing on the workflow. That is the true workflow. We start with that and we go from there.
Very cool. That makes a lot of sense. I honestly should do that. I have no
I
reason not to.
100% recommend it because you'll be able to have anything
That you
like
own.
at
I have so many
proper
movies that I
quality.
could
Not
to do
you
that
won't get
for.
artifacting and everything. That's why I wanted to do it to rip it myself because I was getting artifacts, especially in like space and black and stuff.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, totally recommend that if you're gonna do something like
We'll have
this
to talk about that some off camera
for
to
sure.
do that. But cool, that's awesome. So that's the workflow, and we'll take a quick break. But afterwards, we're going to wrap up by discussing some of the behind the scenes elements and perks that come with running an account. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Framing the Force. Before the break, we discussed the workflow for Robby's account, shot by shot, and now we want to discuss some of the parts of the process that fans of Robby's account may not know about, as well as the weight of being a major source for images in a galaxy far, far away. Robby, what do you think would be the most surprising part of running Star Wars shot by shot to an outside fan? And how do you feel about being one of the best places on the internet to get quality Star Wars imagery?
Well, thank you for inflating my ego there.
Hey,
Um,
it's accurate. It's accurate.
well, I appreciate it. Um, I don't know if this is really a surprise to fans. And it's weird calling them fans. I'm gonna call them followers.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
both
know.
accurate.
I don't look at it like that. It's just I don't know. I'm just a guy doing this. Um, but people know that it's time consuming, but if I had to put a rough, and this is a real rough number,
Mhm.
the average, I want to say, with the current workflow, the older workflow is probably even worse.
Mhm.
And I couldn't put a number on it. But I would say it probably is about 25 hours of film, give or take 5 or 10 hours buffer. Or not
Mhm.
10 hours, but like a
So is
5
that
hour
is
buffer
that
on each
like
end.
full
That's
like
just sorting shots.
okay, so it's not even including scheduling?
Scheduling, I have it down to muscle memory, so I can schedule 40 shots in like 15 minutes if I want to.
I feel like that would be the part that pisses me off the most.
Oh, it does piss me off
Because I'm like, because you're like, I've already done it
dude,
all.
there will
Like I
be
just
times I fall like this is okay. Here's something that people don't know. There will be times where I fall asleep, and I'm a big culprit of this. I fall asleep watching movies late at night because I'll start a movie late at night
Mhm.
and I haven't scheduled yet. So when I wake up on the couch at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, before I go upstairs to my room and go to bed till 8 o'clock before I have to get up for work,
Mhm.
I have to interrupt the middle of my sleep
To
and
schedule.
schedule. Like I have scheduled shots at 5 in the morning post waking up. I have fallen asleep scheduling shots at like 2, 3 in the morning. Like sometimes I try to avoid these situations. Sometimes life gets in the way and I just don't have the time to schedule until that time.
Yeah.
But I'm committed. Like I promise people this, they expect a schedule, they expect
Mhm.
quality, and it is I hold myself to a standard to deliver what the people expect. And that is why when I try and take these breaks or not the between film breaks, but like for Revenge of the Sith and Solo, that is why I will post a poll because people expect these things and I'm not like, yes, I can make the decision myself. I'm at the end of the day running the account. But when a film gets going, I want that film to keep going. Like when it started and you're showing up there 5, sometimes 7 days a week, expecting something. People will do the math and they'll get close. Some people like you're usually not going to be accurate because I don't know. Like I can guesstimate how many shots a film is going to have, and I get
Mhm.
pretty damn close with my guesstimates. But people are so committed and so into this and so just like they have so much enjoyment from it. They try and just map out the schedule themselves. So you try and figure out when a certain shot is going to post.
Yeah.
So you gotta like I hold myself to a really really high standard and a high commitment to this because once I start posting, I've
It started.
it's started.
Mhm.
Like that's why I won't do it without 800, without that month buffer. I mean that buffer will go by pretty quickly
So
sometimes, but
fast.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
sometimes I let it drop, sometimes I keep it, and sometimes it drops and I bring it back up. Like sometimes I just have a grind session and get hundreds of them done. But it takes a lot of time out of my day. Like I have no other way. I used to read books pretty frequently. I have no time for reading. Like that's one of
Yeah.
the things that just gets absolutely axed from the schedule. A lot of my movie watching time by myself at home because my girlfriend works very early in the morning. She's in a scenic shop, so scenic is like 7 a.m. call time,
Okay.
and so she goes to bed early. So I have a couple hours to myself at night, and I like to dedicate that time to watching a movie that I know she won't sit there and watch with me because whatever reason.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes she's just not interested, or she doesn't like. I like a lot of horror movies, and she just does not like horror, like or
Yeah.
whatever. She also just has ADHD and can't sit through it sometimes, and it's totally cool. But like, I'm not going to sit there and force her to watch them. So like, I'll find the time for myself to watch these movies, and that's usually when she goes to bed. But now that time is going to get sliced down a bit because I can then focus my time on shots and not take away time from spending with her.
Yeah.
And she tells me all the time, like she is the most supportive. She will tell me, you got to get shots done. she'll keep me in line. She goes, "Did you do shots? How many did you get done?" She knows my whole
Did
flow.
you do shots and it's capturing frames from a Star Wars film, not
Yeah.
taking shots of
Side note, yo, I have so many people that are like, if I have guests over my house, I'll be like, I'll just say casually, I'm gonna go do shots. They think
and
I'm an
they're like,
alcoholic, and
"Hey,
I'm just, no, 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 no. I really rarely drink, bro. I'm just doing. I'm a nerd.
I run a Star Wars fan page that posts
Yeah,
every frame from the film."
I
It's
am just
totally the exact
actually
opposite of
crazy.
what you possibly could have thought that it would
Yeah,
be.
but no, she's like super supportive. Like, will absolutely like if I tell her I really need to go do shots, she's like, great, I'm gonna go paint or do whatever. She'll drop whatever she's doing at a whim to find herself something to do so I can get shots done, which I she doesn't have to do that, and I'm absolutely blessed that she does, because some people wouldn't be as lucky perhaps in the
Yeah.
same situation. So, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. I mean, it's and it like I I stress a lot over this account just because I want to get the best quality out. Like,
Mhm.
I've been delaying posting because I don't have the colors right. And I don't want and I've been slower at getting shots done because I haven't been able to, because normally I'll have this out of the workflow. I'll run the batch usually after I do a sorting session, but I haven't
Mhm.
been running any batches, and I've just been putting them into my. I have a backup drive for shot by shot, and I've been moving all of my raw shots to the backup shot or to the backup drive, because after I want to see them populate the page, and after you get to the bottom of the window, you have to scroll down for each time a new row comes up, and it just annoys the hell out of me. So like I just try and do it all automatic, and
Mhm.
every second counts when you're doing shots
Yeah.
because it's so time consuming. So anything I can make my life easier, I'll try and usually batch. But I batch color correct, but I've been pushing off doing shots because even though I'm moving them over to another folder, I'm gonna have to run a fat damn batch when it's like get these colors done.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's time consuming, but also like everyone is really understanding about that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll stop a film, and while people are always excited for the next one, and they want it to come as soon as possible, and I don't blame them. If I would want the same thing. Like, if I wasn't the guy running it, hell yeah, give me the next goddamn film.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it's over
A
a
process.
day's worth of time to just get the films together.
Yeah.
And everyone, as soon as I'll usually post like post a big thank you on the last shot, or I'll always quote and say a thanks. I'll always leave a comment underneath and say a thanks. Sometimes I post a video, like just a genuine, like I'm just want to show everyone like my love that's just not behind a screen like typed up.
Mhm.
And because I am very appreciative, but what always stands out to me is how much people don't care that I need to take extended times, and I am away for longer than I say I will be. I said I was going to be back like the second week of September.
Yeah.
We're almost at Halloween, baby.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, I had an unfortunate thing happen, like an unfortunate family issue. I had I had a cruise which is why I set the date to middle of September, because my cruise is supposed to be the first week of September. That had to get canceled because the boat was broken.
Oh, fun.
So I had to reschedule that
Also,
to the big.
dude, props to you for going on a cruise. That is terrifying to me. I had another
Yeah. My
friend
girlfriend was
earlier.
nervous, but she loved it. It's okay, dude. I'll talk you into it
Never.
another time.
I will never go on a cruise. I had another friend earlier that was like, "I might be going on a cruise next year," and I was like, "Absolutely not. No, thank you. I'm good. The ocean is too terrifying. No, thanks. Can't do
I
it.
mean,
Nope."
I don't blame it. It is a completely different experience. But anyway, I had I had to
Side tangent.
I had to reschedule that to the beginning of October. So, and like I said in my reasoning when I originally said I was going to start posting in September, I don't want to start posting before I go on this cruise,
Mhm.
because if anything doesn't
Goes
work,
wrong.
goes
Yeah.
wrong, good luck on me fixing that shit.
Yeah.
Like I have trouble sometimes. I have to phone in Kira, like my girlfriend. I've phoned
Mhm.
in my sister before Kira was in the picture. to go on my computer. I've had issues like if a shot gets skipped from Twitter scheduling. There was one time I accidentally just didn't grab a still, and it was when Padme wakes up in Attack of the Clones from getting attacked by bugs. I
Okay,
just
yeah.
I completely forgot. I don't know. I don't know. I think that was a consequence of me deleting all the frames around the shot I was selecting, and I accidentally grabbed that one.
Okay, that makes
So, and I
sense.
didn't even realize because I had numbered it that row after
Hmm.
deleting it. So I just didn't even it didn't even so like I've had I phone my sister has literally that is the worst quality shot on shot by shot. Not because I didn't do it, like because I didn't even have her grab it the way I normally grab it. I was like
Just get it up.
snipping tool, grab it, throw it up there.
Yeah.
Because I was at my friend's house and I was able to get on his laptop and push the schedule back until she was able to get that on.
Okay.
So yeah, it's crazy. I have that happen. It's just like there's so many little outside factors, and it's sometimes I need a break. Like I
Oh
like to give
yeah.
myself like a 2 week break at least between films, just for me, without even looking at shots.
Hmm.
And but people are always super cool about it. I mean, I couldn't ask for the thing absolutely blew up. I had I mean, before I even posted a shot, I had over 200 followers, which for an account that was just announced,
Yeah. Right.
like that was crazy to me. And then like by the time I was on with Phantom Menace, I was at like 2,000. By the time I was on with Attack of Clones, I was at like 10,000.
Yeah.
Like Revenge of the Sith, 35,000. It's
Hmm.
just it's nuts, and it's such a dedication at this point, a big part of my life. And people always ask for help, and 9 times out of 10, they're asking to help in a genuine like, bro, give
Want to
yourself a
help.
break. Like,
Yeah.
I can schedule these for you. It's that simple. And at the end of the day, and I try to do this and describe this in a way that doesn't make me look like an ass, but I have no other way to put it into words. I simply just don't trust anyone's
Oh yeah.
eye.
Yeah.
It's the eye. Like the I take so much pride. I will fucking sit at a shot for
Hmm.
minutes going between multiple frames.
Yeah.
I will next time you look, I do everything in my power to post the most in focused
Oh,
shots.
dude, that's another thing I was gonna mention is that like a lot of the shots are not gonna be like I get lucky with that because GIFs are in motion
Right.
generally, so like that's not a problem for
And I
me.
have to cheat it sometimes. Like a lot of the starship shots will either be the back, like because they'll fly by the screen, they'll
Hmm.
fly you head on and leave, and you'll see the engines. A lot
Yeah,
of the times you'll see the far away head on shot or the far away engine shot, because that
yeah,
shit's as bad as in focus as you're gonna get,
yeah,
baby.
because they're just flying by. Yeah.
Hmm. And I refuse. Like I did not post the silly the good luck kiss in A New Hope that Leia
Hmm.
gives Luke.
Yeah,
And everyone was expecting it because I will post memes. And one of the
yeah,
reasons I post memes is one, I'll post there's iconic memes I have to, you got to
yeah.
give them their spotlight. This format is every shot literally gets its 15 minutes of fame.
Hmm.
So I do that, give them the spotlight, but also like, you know, I don't want to post a conversation like a dialogue back and forth. It's the same like still image of just the
Over and
character. I gotta
over.
give him a little bit of lip movement, a little bit of something. Funny face comes in there. Let me change it up a little bit. Have some fun with it. You don't want the people are saving every single. People go through and save every single one of these shots. People will
Yeah,
DM me asking for shots they had missed, and I don't want to give them the same shot 5 times in a row. So I'll switch it up
yeah.
a little bit. But like with that good luck kiss, I skipped over it because it was an abyss. There was no good frames of it. And
That's so funny.
I won't do it. Like I'll like sometimes I'll just sacrifice it, and I just like nope, I won't do it. And
Yeah,
it's just like I am down to the hair follicles in frame.
I mean that's like their the moment in Empire when Luke it's during the lightsaber duel when he goes from being in the I'm blanking on the name of it but the carbonite freezing
Freezer
chamber.
chamber, yeah.
Yeah, when he leaps out of there and it's the super fast like shot of him going from
Yeah,
there,
you get some funny ones sometimes.
like there's like that does not work as a GIF. It just straight up
No.
doesn't, because the shot is too quick. Like it's too that's one of the reasons I don't really make GIFs out of trailers anymore, because like trailer shots are way
Yeah.
too short. They're like 10 frames, and from people who don't make GIFs, like a lot of the time, like 10 frames looks stupid as hell in GIF form. Like it is way, like it's crazy because your brain
Blink.
can register like that. Like it can register and read normally if you're watching it in a video that's surrounded by a bunch of other clips that are also 10 frames, but like as an individual thing, it just does not work really.
Yeah. Like next time, so like when The Force Awakens starts posting, and this works, you can go back and hold photos, because I've been doing this since day one. Well, it got a lot easier when I switched over to the Mad VR workflow, because that's going through every frame. Beforehand, I picked the best of what I was given.
Yeah.
But look specifically at Rey, because her hair is up. So her hair, she'll have little loose hairs, flyaway hairs. I go out of my damn way, because there will be, if her face is in focus, it'll be in focus for a couple frames.
Yeah.
So there'll be the same couple of looking frames, but I will go that extra mile, and 3 of those 4 frames will have the hair blown in the wind, that little one strain of hair. But 1 frame will have it in focus, and that is how I choose a frame when there is 5, 6 of the same, more or less the same frame, like just a straight facial expression. But I will go that extra mile and grab you a crisp strain of hair. Or strain of hair frame. I don't know. What, you get what I'm saying.
Whatever.
I'll grab a little flyaway hair for you and make it crispy. I don't want no blurs in my photos when I can have control over it. And that's the main reason why I won't take help. I'm too dedicated at this point. It's just my baby. It was a passion project from the start. It still is, and that's what it'll always be at the end of the day. And I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better following and crazier support than what I have. And I'm just glad people have enjoyed the ride. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much all I've got to say on the account, but I'm going to leave you guys with, if if it's not on Sunday, which is the 27th, I am saying this now to hold myself accountable.
It's on record now.
It's on. Yeah, I'm
Even though
going on
I do
record.
edit these episodes, so I could technically.
No, I am going on record. Keep this in, Alex, because I'm not sure if it will be ready for Monday. Well, I would know. What did I say? What did I say? Sunday? No, Monday. Yeah. Monday. Monday is the 28th. Yeah. So Monday the 28th. So it'll either drop Monday the 28th or the following Monday, which I cannot. Whatever the first Monday of November is. What is that? 3rd? 4th?
No. Yes, because the 6th is Wednesday.
Whatever the first. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if it's not October 28th, it will be November 4th. We are going to start up The Force Awakens. I wish I could give you a more definite answer, but I'm 300 behind my quota right now, so I can't. But you will know by Sunday, so keep an eye out on my personal account, and also Shot by Shot will definitely retweet that info. So just keep an eye out sometime this weekend. It'll probably be Sunday when you have an answer.
Very exciting.
So there you go. I know you guys have been waiting. I've pushed it off a hell of a lot longer than I was supposed to.
That means I got to start making GIFs too.
Yeah, that's your warning, Alex. Get cracking, baby. You have a potential 2-day warning here.
Yeah.
But that's all I've got. Thank you everyone for tuning in to episode 15 of Framing the Force. Alex, where can people find you online?
You can find me online at the Alex Batts. That's BATTS on both Twitter and Instagram, and also at Curated Star Wars on Twitter.
The new and improved and just getting started Star Wars Curated.
Yeah.
And you guys can find me online at Robby_Weidemann. That's Robby with a Y _WEIDEMANN, and at SW Shot by Shot, which will be returning in either 2 days or a week. So please be sure to subscribe here to The Aspect on YouTube and any platform where podcasts are found. Follow us on Twitter X, the home of Shot by Shot and Star Wars Curated, Instagram, and TikTok at The Aspect Co. Thank you to Peter Fraser for providing our series music, and thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you again in a galaxy far, far away.
Hey, thank you for tuning in.
If you enjoyed this show, then be sure to subscribe here to The Aspect so you never miss an episode.
And check out some of our other shows and videos here on the Aspect Network.
Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you in a galaxy far, far away.